The Lost Lantern. In a quiet village surrounded by hills and rivers, there lived a young boy named Leo. He loved exploring the forests near his home, always curious about what lay beyond the familiar paths. Leo had a small lantern that his grandfather had given him, saying, "This isn't just a lantern, Leo. It will guide you when you feel lost, even in the darkest places." One evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, Leo decided to venture further than ever before. The forest seemed calm at first, with birds singing their last songs of the day and a gentle breeze brushing the leaves. But as night fell, shadows grew long, and the trees whispered in ways that Leo had never noticed. Suddenly, his lantern flickered and went out. Panic rose in his chest. "Stay calm," Leo whispered to himself, remembering his grandfather's words. He tried to relight it, but the wind was too strong. The darkness seemed alive, pressing in from all sides. Just then, a soft glow appeared in the distance. Curious and desperate, Leo followed it, stepping carefully over roots and stones. The light led him to a small clearing where fireflies danced above a pond. In the middle of the pond floated an old golden lantern glowing steadily. Leo realized it was the lost lantern of the forest, a magical lantern villagers spoke of in stories, said to appear only to those with courage and a kind heart. He reached the pond's edge, carefully balancing on stones, and picked up the lantern. The moment he touched it, a warm light spread through the clearing, chasing away the shadows and guiding him back along the path. On his way home, Leo noticed things he had never seen before: the gentle shimmer of the river, the tiny footprints of forest animals, and the soft hum of the night wind. The forest no longer seemed scary. It felt alive and welcoming. When he reached his village, his neighbors were worried. "We thought you were lost forever," said his mother. Leo smiled, holding up the magical lantern. "I wasn't lost. I just needed to find the light inside me." From that night on, Leo never feared the dark. He learned that courage wasn't the absence of fear, but the choice to keep moving forward even when everything seemed uncertain. And the lantern? It stayed with him, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, a small light can guide the way. The Journey of the Little Blue Boat. On the edge of a quiet fishing village, there was a small blue boat named Skywave. She wasn't very big. In fact, she was the smallest boat in the harbor. The fishermen used large boats with tall masts and wide decks. Skywave had only one wooden seat, a short sail, and a few scratches on her sides from years of bumping against the dock. Skywave belonged to Eli, a kind old fisherman with gentle eyes and a soft voice. He loved her deeply, even though she wasn't fast or powerful. "You may be small, Skywave," Eli would say while patting her side, "but you've got a strong heart." Every morning, Eli would sail out a little way to catch fish for himself and his neighbors. Skywave enjoyed these short trips, but she always dreamed of something more. She had heard stories from the bigger boats about adventures in faraway islands, where the water sparkled like glass and dolphins danced under the sun. One windy afternoon, after Eli had tied Skywave to the dock, a big red fishing boat named Storm Rider chuckled loudly. "You?" Storm Rider laughed. "You could never make it to the islands. The waves out there would swallow you whole." Skywave didn't answer. She knew she was small, but her heart whispered that she was meant for more than just short sails near the shore. The chance came sooner than she expected. One summer morning, Eli came down to the dock with a worried look. "Skywave," he said quietly, Old Captain Jonah is stuck on Gull Island. His radio is broken and the storm is coming tonight. The bigger boats can't get through the narrow channel to the island. But you might just fit. Skywave's heart raced. This was her moment. Eli loaded her with a small bag of supplies, fresh water, bread, a blanket, and pushed her gently into the water. "Be careful, little one," he said. The sea was calm at first. The sun shone bright and gulls circled overhead. Skywave glided forward, her sail catching the warm breeze. She passed the rocky cliffs where seals lay sunbathing and the kelp forest that swayed gently beneath the surface. But as she neared the open water, the waves grew taller. The wind whistled louder. Skywave tightened her ropes and pressed on. Halfway there, dark clouds rolled across the sky. A gust of wind slammed against her sail, and rain began to fall in cold sheets. "Hold on," she whispered to herself, pushing through the waves that slapped against her sides. She entered the narrow channel, the dangerous part. The water churned between jagged rocks, and the current tried to push her back. Skywave remembered Eli's words. Strong heart. She focused on each wave, moving forward little by little. Finally, the channel opened and she saw Gull Island, a small patch of green in the stormy sea. On the shore stood Captain Jonah, waving his arms. "Skywave," he called as she pulled up to the beach. "I can't believe it's you." He climbed aboard, carrying his fishing net and a small wooden box. "You saved me, little boat. Let's get home before the storm gets worse." The return trip was harder. The wind howled and the rain stung like needles. But with Jonah and Skywave working together, him steering, her fighting the waves, they reached the harbor just as the storm crashed down. When they arrived, the big boat stared in silence. Stormrider's voice was softer now. "I was wrong about you," he admitted. "You've got more courage than all of us." Skywave didn't say anything. She didn't need to. She had gone beyond the shore, faced the storm, and returned with a hero. That night, as she rested beside the dock, Skywave looked at the dark horizon and smiled. She knew her size didn't matter. What mattered was the heart that carried her forward.